Farias here, joined by a couple of fantastic individuals from Any Baby Can. We've got the new CEO, Jenny Hixon, and we've got Destiny Stivers. Is it? Stivers. You know, it was funny because I was going to follow introducing you by saying you're my favorite business development person in the world.
Oh my God. Well, I'll accept that then.
That has a nickname for me that I don't like.
You want me to tell him?
No, I do not.
But I'm happy to.
Really?
Let it be a mystery for later then.
We will, yes.
Okay.
But Jenny Hixon, you're 2 weeks in here to this fantastic organization.
Yes.
How did you make your way to Any Baby Can?
Well, so my background is public health, specifically maternal and child health. So the mission of Any Baby Can really speaks to kind of my work. Prior to being here, I was the executive director of Thrive Youth Center, which is a homeless center for LGBTQ youth. And then prior to that, I worked for the city of San Antonio, where I started the violence prevention program. So I was born and raised in San Antonio. My whole career's been about kids.
Really?
And families. Yes.
Where'd you get high school? That's got to be the first
Oh,
question
no,
I ask.
Churchill.
Churchill.
I know.
Go Chargers. How many times did you say that in your life?
Not much.
Real? Wow.
I was a '90s emo kid, so I wasn't shiny. I did
So
not
you were
cheer about anything.
Go Chargers.
Yeah, I think I was more hiding
right?
into the bleachers.
There you go. But a great school. A lot of history from Churchill. Some great folks went to that high school, and I'm sure it was a good foundation for you to kind of start your educational jaunt.
It was. I mean, I went to Churchill before they built the Stone Oak High School. I forget the name of it now, but it was
Reagan?
Reagan.
Yeah.
It was exploding at the seams, so I think it got me a good education and learning how to kind of make your own way.
So 2 weeks in, what are you thinking about Any Baby Can?
So I think it's an amazing organization that has a 40-year history, which I think not a lot of nonprofits can say. I think what's impressive to me about Any Baby Can is the breadth of services that we serve families without restriction. So any income, any background, you're welcome here, and we're going to try to figure out what's best for you and your child.
Destiny, what's the message when you're out in the community saying you guys really need to get behind this organization? Because for us, for Ricardo and I, it was literally just a tour, and we were like, we're all in. What can we do? What's the message that you deliver to folks to get them to support? Is it as simple as just come on out and see what we do?
I mean, it is, but also just the work that we do here is literally transformational.
Yeah.
That was what actually drew me to work here at Any Baby Can. And so it's not an exaggeration to say that the work we do here can literally transform the life of a child, and not just a child, but their entire family.
Yeah.
And we have a very holistic approach to what we do here through all of our programs. And so we recognize that if you have a child who has a special healthcare need, that it can affect the family as a whole. And so we do everything to meet those needs. And so really the message is just, you're absolutely welcome to come, have a tour, see what we do. And no amount is too small. That's my development director pitch, but really it's not. I mean, we will utilize your funds, again, to transform the life of a child. And so we would love to have you guys come out, love to have you take a tour. You guys can always schedule a tour if you email us at development@abcsa.org. And we are happy to connect with you and provide a tour so that you can see how we're impacting families here in San Antonio.
Yeah, and I know Jenny's new here, and she's going to see the great staff that you guys have. But Destiny, right quick, talk about the fantastic folks, top to bottom, that are a part of Any Baby Can.
Yeah, so I mean, well, first of all, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Cecilia Nguyen. She is on my development
Who?
team. Yeah, who's that? Cecilia is incredible. She's part of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. You've probably seen Cecilia, even if you didn't know it. But we have an amazing staff. We have a case management team where our director is actually a licensed counselor, and so she has a lot of experience working with families at the counseling level as well, which, a lot of our families do need.
Sure.
We have a director of bereavement services, so it's kind of the saddest thing we do, but also one of the most important things we do. And so that is, if we have families who have lost a child, we will support them with burial, cremation, and even 8 counseling sessions. And so that kind of work takes a really strong, really caring human being, and we have that in Desiree Holmes, who is our director of bereavement services. We also have our our prescription assistance program, which is also led by Laura Loya. And so that is the one program we have here that does not have an age cap. So we recognize that, you know, it's not just children who need help with their prescriptions, it's also seniors and any adult living in the family. We've actually been able to save about $2 million over the last 2 years in prescription costs. And so it's one of our faster growing programs. And we also have our autism support program. And so that program specifically was set up to help train parents and give parents the tools they need to support a child with autism in their home. And again, one of our fastest growing programs. And we also train all of the SAPD cadets. We're the only nonprofit that does that through our autism services program so they can learn how to interact with children and adults who have autism.
Yeah, Jenny, like I said, 2 weeks in, what are some of the things that you have in store for just kind of snapshot? You don't have to go into great detail about your 2 or 3 year plan, but what are some of the things that you see that you're excited about and some of the things that you'd like to see, you know, move forward in the future?
So I think we have an excellent problem to have, which is we have more demand for our services than we can provide. And so what we need to do is just at the most basic level, expand our services. We know that, for example, in our autism program, we have a wait list for services because we have so many families that need what we provide. So my first sort of order of business is to find funding to expand those programs. I think the second thing is because of my background and work with the city, the work that we're doing with first responders is truly life-saving.
Absolutely.
Because we know that if someone calls 911 because they have a child or adult who is having an episode, that they want that response to be an informed response. But of course, first responders have a lot to cover. And so being able to provide that training to more law enforcement agencies, to our firefighters, my wife is a firefighter, like figuring out all of those types of folks that we can provide that training to so that every single person in San Antonio who comes in contact with our families knows how to be supportive and respond in a trauma-informed way, whatever that child or family is bringing.
And it's to say that this is a transformative organization is an understatement. I don't even know if you know this or not. My nephew is autistic, and they participated in the walk, and we contributed, and it was just a beautiful thing to see that you guys did out at Palo Alto. But it's not just about that one event. You guys are regional. You guys are all over the place. You guys have done a fantastic event in New Braunfels. That's a pretty cool deal that you guys have the reach that you guys have in this community.
We do, and we would like to expand more in the Hill Country. As we know, as the cost of living gets more expensive in San Antonio, there are a lot of young families that are moving further and further out of our city to be able to afford to live. And so a lot of those young families that we'd like to serve are living in those areas that are just outside San Antonio. And so I think our regional focus really helps us to be able to meet people where they are, give them the services where they're living, and instead of having to travel to us, we'll travel to them.
Destiny, the importance of networking and what you guys do. I met you guys at a networking event. Then I met with your team at another networking event. You guys, Jenny, they're everywhere, and that's a great thing. You know, Destiny, talk about the importance of continuing to grow that network in not just greater San Antonio, but South Texas.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of our big goals for this year is just frankly brand awareness of what it is we do. Our name typically, Any Baby Can, right? People are like, oh, you know, you guys are a daycare or you help babies. It doesn't really encompass all that we do. And so Cecilia and I have made it a point, as you said, to be everywhere. I was actually just at a mixer in New Braunfels a couple of nights ago. I mean, it's important, one, because not only do we need the funding, obviously, to expand our programs, but two, we want to reach out to businesses so that they're aware we can support their employees. I mean, there's not a business here that does not have an employee that has a child that needs our services. I mean, they're everywhere. And so we want to be available for them. We want them to know that we are a resource. And so Cecilia and I in our work have often found that I don't think we leave a mixer without finding someone that's like, oh, I have a nephew with autism.
Yeah,
I have a
exactly.
grandchild with autism. My sister's child has cerebral palsy. Like every time we go to a mixer, we meet someone who could really utilize and benefit from our services. And so it's very important for us to network out in the community.
And Jenny, you said, a problem that is so evident is the resources aren't quite where the need is in this community. I know you guys have a gala coming up on September 7th. That's just one of the ways. Talk about your event you have coming up on September The 7th.
So we have our annual Angel Affair. It's going to be a super fun party, which I think these two ladies are working really hard to make sure everybody has a great time. It's a gala, and so we're looking both for event sponsors.
We're buying a table at that, by the way.
Wonderful. Thank
Yes,
you.
absolutely.
There.
Yeah.
But we're looking for event sponsors. We're going to have a great band. It's going to be a good time for a good cause. And all of those dollars come back to serve our clients, which I think is really the reason why we do all of this work, is every dollar that comes in, we want to make sure that it's going right back out to somebody in our community who has needs. So I always say when we're doing development, we ask for the money so that our clients don't have to.
Sure.
They don't have to pawn their stuff and sell the things that they have to make money, to find money to pay for prescription formula, for example. If you have to feed your kiddo, you're going to do whatever you have to do to feed your kiddo. So every dollar that we bring in, we can make sure that our clients don't have to do
And
those
sometimes
things.
that means you not eating to
Exactly.
make sure your kid
Yeah.
can eat. Destiny, it's at a new place this year. You guys have had it at I believe the Tobin in the past. and
Correct.
You're moving it now.
We are. The reason being, frankly, is we have exploded the Tobin, and so our lobby last
Not
year.
really, folks. It didn't
yeah,
really explode.
not
It's-
really,
I
but
promise
you know,
it's still there and still
I mean,
nice.
it's a great problem to have. We were
Yeah.
pretty much wall to wall in there, in the lobby, and so this year it's going to be at La Cantera at the resort.
Nice.
La Cantera has a nice big foyer area. It's kind of a nice wraparound. We're excited just because it is a new venue for us. We can also seat many more people, and so we're hoping to grow this event. Again, to Jenny's point, we no money, no mission, right? We need to be able to bring in those dollars so that we can continue to support families. So
You are so good at asking for. I feel like pulling my wallet out and giving you what I got right now. Like,
well, thank you. By all means, please do.
$6 and 2 pesos that I brought back from Cancun.
Hey, we'll take it.
You'll take anything,
Yeah,
won't
we
you?
will. We will take it. I will figure out the exchange rate, sir.
So if I can, I'm not going to tell you guys your business because you're very good at what you do. But what I can tell you is I've been on board with what you guys are doing, just talking with these young women about the mission. But I brought my business partner. His name is Ricardo Chavira. He's an actor. He's my the partner in Jaeger FC. And to see how we were both just overwhelmed with emotion when it came to all of the services, especially the bereavement services. We were both, we're not crying, it's like allergies, like whatever, we're grown men. But it's really emotional to see the impact you have on families at their absolute worst time. Talk about the importance of funding that program and what that program is.
Well, I think you're exactly right. That's if you're a parent, that's the worst thing you can possibly
absolutely.
imagine. And so to know that for our families, that instead of having to worry about how they're going to pay for cremation, pay for burial, which, I mean, honestly, probably seems like not a big worry at the time because you have so much else going on, but it really is crushing for families. So for us to be able to lift that small thing off of their shoulders is huge. And more than that, I think more than the financial support, our team provides emotional support for families who might feel isolated, they might feel alone. They've obviously never thought about how they had to navigate this. And for us to be able to walk with them through that so they're not alone, after the casseroles get dropped off and everybody goes home, our team is still there. So I think that work means a lot to both the people who do it, who are incredible. Desiree, our leader on that, is a lovely, compassionate human being. But also for the families, we know that that's the work that really stays with them because we were there for them when something terrible happened.
Destiny, how can people get in touch with you guys to schedule a tour or to learn more about the organization?
Yeah, again, you can email me directly if you'd like. My email address is dstivers, that's spelled DSTIVERS, @abcsa.org, or again at development@abcsa.org. You can also call us at 210-227-0170, and you can request to speak with me, Destiny Stivers, and we will definitely connect you with our case managers and all of our directors so that you can learn more about our programs.
Well, Destiny, Jenny, on behalf of the city of San Antonio, South Texas, I mean, anybody that you guys have affected, including me and my family with my beautiful nephew, Mateo Farias, thank you. Give me that phone number one more time for folks if they want to schedule a tour.
So 210-227-0170.
All right, folks, that is going to wrap up this edition of Jaeger Talk. For my fantastic guests from Any Baby Can, new CEO Jenny Hixon and Destiny Stivers.
It's
got her name
Dutch. It's
wrong.
Dutch, Gabe.
Is it Dutch?
Yes, my husband says it equates to like a penny in Holland, so I was like, that's great.
I have I have no idea what that means, but I'm
Yeah.
sure it's fascinating.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Have a great afternoon. Again, for Jenny and Destiny, I'm Gabe Farias. Enjoy your day.